Happening now, the People's Convoy is set to return this weekend, kicking off their New York tour in the town of Randolph. We hear from the organizers of the protest next. And mixed feelings are rolling in about a proposed solar project in northern Chautauqua County. Plus, a popular Easter event is back in Jamestown. We hear from the kids getting ready to take part.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up, but first, boy, is it a windy one out there today. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live with that, and depending on where you are, too, Dakota, it's pretty wet.
Yes, the rain is continuing from yesterday, so the rain is just going to continue. But the good news is we are going to see at least a break in the rain coverage through the afternoon hours. Lakeside Park shows you the rain coming down right now. And as we take a look at the radar, you'll actually see here that we're still dealing with some of these patches of rain. Now, understand the Buffalo radar is still down. It broke yesterday and it's still down for maintenance. So this is multiple radars stitched together. So you lose a little bit of quality when you stitch multiple radars together like this, but you're getting the idea of kind of what we've been dealing with through the morning hours. The high already occurred today. It was 66. Occurred early in the morning. Say goodbye to it because it's gone. You're not going to see that again for a while. 80 and 13 are the records for today. So through the afternoon hours, windy with occasional rain showers. They come to an end for the afternoon hours with some clearing. Yes, we may actually see some sunshine. Colder though. This is where we're ending the day. 44 to 50 with a west wind 15 to 30. Now it stays windy through the day. Tomorrow then maybe some snow for Easter. Yeah, we'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
The Easter Bunny going to have to break out his winter jacket again, Dakota. Yeah, Dakota, thank you. Citizens of the United States and Canada are joining forces to take a stand against government control this weekend as part of the People's Convoy, which first regroups in Randolph. Our Julia Gress reports.
On Saturday, the North American Unity Tour will kick off in Niagara Falls and make its way through New York, with the first set of protesters stopping at the I-86 truck stop in Randolph Saturday morning at 8:30. Niagara Falls resident Wendy Dominski is amongst those taking part.
We have been in contact with our Canadian friends, and we're trying to unite us as one because we're all going through the same tyranny in both of our countries right now with the mandates and the emergency powers.
The goal of the tour, Dominski goes on to say, is to raise awareness of the under-the-radar government control, like pandemic-related mandates.
Masks? I'm a nurse. Masks do not work for what's going on. That is called enslavement. And those that are listening to it are being lied to. And it's a shame and it makes me cry.
The solution, she says, is to speak up.
We have to call all of our legislators. We have to call the governors. We have to call the mayors. You have to reach out and tell them this is not acceptable. They have to know our wishes and wants and then go forward. And if they don't do the will of the people, they need to get out.
Randolph resident and protest organizer Randy Barber agreed that the public has become desensitized to the issue.
They're conditioning society. They're conditioning you to obey authority without question. It's more about something like that than it is about health.
He continued that people all around the country and even around the world are standing up. Barber says that across the country, millions of U.S. citizens have taken part in these convoys. The pair shared their experience in D.C., saying that several members of their group were ticketed for hanging American flags from their vehicles, as it is a form of protest which requires a permit. However, when the group applied for one, they were denied. Dominski also questioned the integrity of COVID tests, saying it may be an unreliable source of data.
The guy that came out with the test even has testimony that the test was never intended to detect COVID-19, period. What they're detecting mostly is flu. You look at the last 2 years, we've had zero flu. How ironic is that?
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. Those who wish to attend the peaceful protest can gather at the Rainbow Bridge at Niagara Falls starting at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And 4 people are facing charges following a several months-long investigation into the sale of illegal drugs in Chautauqua County. The County Sheriff's Office Southern Tier Regional Drug Task Force with partner agencies raided a John Street address in Brockton Tuesday. 4 people, 43-year-old Sean Conway, 22-year-old Savannah Dorsky Carter, and 57-year-old Stephen Andrews, along with 48-year-old Donald Tolbert, were taken into custody. Following a search there, deputies recovered cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, and nearly $500 in cash. Now, Conway faces the brunt of the charges. He's currently locked up in county jail, with over a half a dozen pending, including criminal possession of a controlled substance. Authorities continue to ask members of the community to report suspicious activity or narcotics-related sales within their neighborhood to the Southern Tier Regional Drug Task Force's tip line. That number is 716-664-2420. A Forestville woman has been sentenced for allegedly scamming the elderly while working at a bank in Erie County, New York. The Erie County District Attorney's Office says that 37-year-old Brianna Rosser was sentenced this week to 30 days in jail following 5 years of probation. Prosecutors say she, while employed at a local bank in Hamburg, admitted to making numerous unauthorized withdrawals from several bank accounts of elderly customers. Officials explain she stole more than $100,000 through fraudulent transactions between November 2017 and February of 2019. She'll be ordered to repay all of the stolen money to the bank, and which has since reimbursed victims there. Several residents are fed up with a planned solar farm project in northern Chautauqua County, while others now arguing the new project will move the area forward. The town of Pomfret held a public hearing Wednesday to address potential impacts to the surrounding area. In attendance were representatives from RIC Energy, the New York City-based company behind the project, to answer questions from concerned community members. The development, which is planned to be constructed along Farrell Road, garnered much concern and some support from property owners near the site. Critics of that project cited potential negative property value impacts, while many supporters argued that the growing use of clean energy is an important step in combating climate change.
And I would love to see solar panels. If I saw a little glimpse of them, it would make me feel like Fredonia and Pomfret are moving forward and doing the right thing.
Yeah, maybe they can put them in your front yard then.
I understand your concern.
Now, with the recent growth of public interest in green energy, the town is now eyeing a possible change to its law regarding solar farms. RIC Energy CEO saying that due to supply chain issues, if approved, construction on that project would likely not begin until 2023. A former Chautauqua County executive has passed away. John Jack Glenzer served as Chautauqua County's second executive from 1983 to 1989. Current County Executive P.J. Wendell announced his death on Wednesday. Throughout his tenure, Glenzer focused on creating jobs, improving the county's roads and bridge infrastructure, and even helped open the South County Transfer Station in Falconer. Before his time in Mayville, he served as a member of the U.S. Army. Wendell, in a statement, said Glenzer meant so much to so many people in our county. He was a great mentor and friend who left a legacy for us in county government. He was 91 years old. As WNY News Now continues, we look at the potential cause of an uptick in drug-related deaths here in our region. And later, the end of an era. Congressman Tom Reid, perhaps, to give his final town hall meeting ever. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Whoa, Pre-Comic Book Day is almost here.
There's comic books for all ages.
Stop on down to Stockel Comics at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown and pick up some free comics. From superheroes to science fiction, there are tons of options.
100% free. Just show up on May 7th starting at 11 a.m.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area. Plus, end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
We've noticed an uptick in drug overdoses in our region lately, so our news partner with Erie News Now checked in with state police in the coroner's office. Both are seeing lethal trends of a fentanyl mix with other drugs. Fentanyl involved over 80% of many overdoses at the time. But the tricky thing is, fentanyl may be hidden, mixed in with other drugs such as cocaine and methamphetamine. State police are seeing the very same trend. Their message to seasoned drug users and so-called beginners alike: don't risk taking any illegal substance. Your very life is at stake.
We don't know what is in those drugs anymore, and we are unfortunately seeing deaths with all kinds of drugs where it used to just be heroin, and now we're starting to see it with cocaine, methamphetamine, and other drugs.
And when I speak to groups and things like that, I tell them, if you take fentanyl, you're going to die. There's no wiggle room. You're going to die.
In every overdose death, police try to gather as much information and evidence as they can from things like cell phones and other means in hopes of building a drug delivery resulting in a death case, but it's difficult. They say they've had 2 successful prosecutions last year alone. Well, recent data shows inflation hit 8.5% last month, the highest rate in 40 years. These new numbers are raising the alarm from our local congressional members. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp with more.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics released some unwelcome data. U.S. inflation climbed to 8.5%. It's the highest rate since December of 1981, and these new numbers are an increase from February's 7.9%. Economists say pandemic-related supply and demand concerns, as well as the war in Ukraine, are contributing to inflation, and the recent data shows surging food, energy, and shelter costs helped account for the recent gain. Although the data from BLS shows gas prices have also reached record highs, recent data from AAA shows gas prices are coming down little by little. As you can see, both the national average in red and Pennsylvania's in blue, prices are coming down. Over in New York, they are showing a similar pattern too. But members say these prices are still too high. Congressman Mike Kelly tweeted saying in part, "Hardworking Americans can't keep up with #Bidenflation." In response to the BLS recent inflation numbers, Senator Bob Casey told us in an email, "To ease the burden of higher prices on families' budgets caused by Putin's war in Ukraine, I urge President Biden to tap into our nation's strategic oil reserves to help lower gas prices." The senator also added that he introduced legislation to crack down on oil companies' price gouging of gas prices during a time of crisis, saying they can't take advantage of consumers by jacking up prices.
People will have to earn an extra $5,000 to purchase what they just purchased a year ago.
Representative Fred Keller says the U.S. needs to be more energy independent in order to help curb costs.
It takes energy to do everything in our lives today. And it's a result of the Biden administration's energy policies that have really created this issue from day one.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
This week, Biden announced a move they say will help the U.S. become less reliant on foreign fuels by boosting production and the sale of ethanol, blended gasoline, to alleviate some of the pain at the pump. But even with this plan, the White House says it would lower prices by about 10 cents a gallon. And New York Congressman Tom Reid will host his final town hall meeting next week. The Republican representative has been in Congress for nearly 12 years. He decided not to run for the 2022 election after a female lobbyist accused him of sexual misconduct last year from an incident in 2017. Reid apologized and announced he would not seek re-election at that time. Next week, he will host his last of 3 town halls across the region. His office says Reid has hosted more than 200 town hall meetings during his time in Congress. Here locally, Reid's expected to speak next Tuesday at the Kyantone Independent Fire Department on Stillwater-Frewsburg Road starting at 5:30. If you can't make it, we'll be live streaming that across our network. In Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Wolf has announced a proposal that cut the state's nearly 10% corporate net income tax, also known as a CNIT. Currently, that rate is 8.99%. Wolf says he's proposed similar tax cuts to that rate since he first took office. He wants to bring that down even lower by 2023 and then ultimately to under 5%. Wolf says that the tax cut will lead to better business climate, increased growth, and job creation. He adds that it's time, especially now, given the financial surpluses the state has experienced in the recent years.
And that deficit of $2 to $3 billion, well, last year we had a $2.6 billion surplus. This year it looks like we're going to have even more revenues through the end of March, or $2.6 billion ahead of estimate, just revenues.
Pennsylvania's corporate net income tax rate currently the second highest in the nation. Coming up, a New York City subway shooter now in police custody and potentially facing terrorism charges. And later, we take a closer look at the Easter egg festivities planned for the weekend here in Jamestown. But first, when we come back, a full look at our weather forecast. Dakota with how windy it is out there.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to you. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Wanted to start off with something that kind of reiterates what we say. Lightning is frightening. A lightning strike struck a building in downtown Warren yesterday, and our friend Aaron at 92 Gold down there in Erie shot this picture, and we got these pictures in this morning of apparently the car's owner. Hello there. The car's owner. Maybe, if it will work, we will take a look at the next picture which should be this, well, maybe. The computer's ready for the weekend. There we go. Such as I am too. The car's owner apparently had posted this on our Facebook page of the damage that it had done to her car, and parts of the building had fallen onto her car, and this is kind of like what it looks like. And so that's a very scary situation. All started with a lightning strike. So again, when thunder roars, you head indoors. Lightning is indeed frightening. And it's a windy day out there. The peak wind gust so far is 32 miles an hour. That's here in the city. Now, Dunkirk's peak wind gust is around 52 the last time I checked. So right near the Lake Erie shoreline, that's where you're starting to see those gusty winds right now. Downtown Jamestown, just pretty much clouds around right now. 41, but it's still windy. West wind of 22 with a wind gust of 30. So it's still going to remain breezy through the afternoon hours today, especially some wind whipping showers out there for today. Now again, the Buffalo National Weather Service radar is still down for maintenance. So this is multiple radars stitched together, but you're seeing some more showers starting to come on in now. So we are going to see a little more rain activity through the afternoon hours before this comes our way. After this cold front sweeps through, notice the clearing back behind it, and that will be coming our way through the afternoon. So let's show it to you on Future Scan. Notice the rain continuing through the afternoon, and then there's the clearing. We should go partly to mostly sunny towards the end of the day. Temperatures may actually rebound a little bit towards 50 degrees, but I think most of us will stay in the 40s. Partly to mostly clear tonight. Now tomorrow, I did put in a 25% chance of a light rain or snow shower, and the better chance for that will likely be across northwestern Pennsylvania. The southern tier will likely stay dry under partly to mostly sunny skies. But later in the day on Friday, going into Saturday, we are going to see more rain showers returning once again, and they're going to mix with some snowflakes coming up for Easter Sunday. So the planning forecast for tomorrow, again, around 38 to start, will likely top out in the lower 60s through the day on Friday. So the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Saturday, just damp and cool, upper 40s again with scattered showers. The better chance for that snowflake that you see on Sunday will be in the morning, otherwise turns dry for the afternoon, but cool though, 42, the average is 56, and it does look like we stay cool into early next week as well.
All right, Dakota, thanks. Around the nation now, protesters in Grand Rapids, Michigan are demanding justice and police reform. That's after an officer's fatal shooting of a black man named Patrick Leoe this month. An attorney for his family is set to speak about that today. Michigan State Police now investigating. The county's chief medical examiner says he's awaiting tissue and toxicology results for a final autopsy report. And the county prosecutor's office says it's going to review all evidence before coming to a decision. Meanwhile, the White House says that President Biden doesn't want to keep waiting for Congress to pass a stalled police reform bill. And we're getting new information about a booster for kids 5 to 11 years old. A third shot of the children's dose for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine raised Omicron fighting antibodies by 36 times, officials said. That's the latest news from the company. They're submitting for emergency use authorization in the coming days. It was a small study, but there were no safety issues reported with it. Booster doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine are already authorized for kids 12 and up. At this hour, fear unleashed by a shooting rampage in New York City has ended. The suspected New York City subway shooter now in custody. Gloria Pazamino is in Brooklyn outside that subway station with the latest.
33 shots, but less than 30 hours later, we're able to say, we got him.
Subway shooting suspect Frank James is now in federal custody. Law enforcement sources say it was James himself who called in the Crime Stoppers tip, leading NYPD officers to apprehend him on a bustling Manhattan street.
We were able to shrink his world quickly. There was nowhere left for him to run.
James is now charged with terror-related crimes and, if convicted, faces a sentence of life in prison.
Frank James has been charged by complaint in Brooklyn federal court with one count of violating 18 U.S.C. sections 1992 A7 and B1, which prohibits terrorist and other violent attacks against mass transportation systems.
Just one day before allegedly carrying out a shooting rampage, James posted a chilling video online, ranting about his desire to kill and advocating for mass violence.
I wanted to kill people. I wanted to watch people die right in front of my face immediately.
Investigators searching for a motive are revealing James's dark past and a history of run-ins with the law.
Those include possession of burglary tools 4 times, criminal sex act, theft of service 2 times.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino.
James is slated to have his first court appearance today in Brooklyn Federal Court. Next here, how the city of Jamestown preparing for their Easter egg hunt.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, spring is hopping its way towards the area, kicking off with the 74th annual Easter egg hunt at Allen Park this Saturday. Our Bronson Rasmussen with a preview of what's to come.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
City of Jamestown leaders, along with various donors, gathered in the park that will hold hundreds of eggs filled with goodies, teasing the return of the Easter event.
Our police department's heard rumblings that the Easter Bunny might be coming along, so we're excited to just see people again, to have them enjoy our parks, and really kick off the opening of all of the parks here in the city.
The park will be filled with children of all ages for the Easter egg hunt, including 8-year-old twins Lauren and Aaron Enquist, who just can't wait to find those sweet treats hidden about.
I'm looking forward to finding the candy. I agree with her.
The eggs won't just have candy in them, as parks manager Dan Stone tells us. There are many prizes just waiting to be found, including some new bikes and helmets.
I think we're up to 300 prize eggs right now, and probably another 300 that'll be filled with candy, and thousands of pieces of candy. So we're excited to be able to hand it out and have the kids have a good time with it.
Those who visited the park, including the president of the Allen Park Women's Club, Darlene Friend, are among those looking to see new life in this part of spring.
It's a good thing for the city, for the community to do for the kids.
The Easter event is made possible thanks to its many donors, including the Allen Parks Women's Club, Pro Hardware, Jamestown Police and Fire Department, among many others. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Bronson, thank you. The Easter egg hunt will kick off quite a few festivities at that park this year, too, including many concerts and sporting events. I know the band shell always a certain fun one out there, hosted by the Women's Club. Be sure to let us know what you think about this and more at WNY News Now on social media. I'm with Lauren there. I'm looking forward to the candy this weekend. Just pile it on. I don't know about you, Dakota. You got any Easter candy coming your way that you know of?
Probably not.
No.
I don't really need any candy, to be honest with you.
Me either, but I have a really awesome Easter surprise that I have in the works for folks in my neck of the woods. So it should be a fun weekend nevertheless. I see Todd on Facebook. He says his daughter's excited for that. So really great. And just having people come together, you know, and sharing some of that Easter love. Well, we are, of course, sharing in some of the weather today that we talked about. Yeah, we're sharing. I mean, it's here, right?
Sharon She Shed?
Sharon She Shed on the seashore of Dunkirk. I know that was pretty windy. Here's a live look, though, right here in Jamestown. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.